This is Pastor Brian Hudson from New Covenant Church. I want to welcome you to this discussion today. We're talking about how to be safe in regards to COVID-19. In particular, talking about as children return to school. Want to talk to parents and to the public about how to prepare children going back to school. It's so key that we would do the right things in terms of being safe. We just cannot go back to school. At some point, we're going back. I know some are doing e-learning, but for those who go back, it's very important to be clear about how to do so safely. Now, Joycell Ingram is a registered nurse. She is the school nurse at Garden Elementary School in Wayne Township here in Indy, near Indy. And she has been on this job for 10 years. So she is one of those heroes we talk about who are caring for us and for our children in public places. So welcome, Nurse Ingram.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
Yeah, so good to have you. Now we're going to go into some detail. I've asked Nurse Ingram to, she's brought a PowerPoint presentation. We'll show you some slides from the presentation. I want to add this. You know, Joycell, about a year ago, we were planning on a health fair that we held in August. And our good friend and Pat Satterwhite, who's in heaven now, I was thinking about her today as we're doing this health-related video, how that you've had a passion for some time as a part of our church to help our community understand how to be healthy. So talk about your passion for health and mental health overall.
In becoming a nurse, my heart is for the people, and I want to see people healthy and doing well. And in order to do that, you have to be able to take care of yourself, know what to do and how to do the things that will help you stay healthy. You want to eat properly, you want to exercise, and you want to do those things that bring a positive light on your health. As far as around the community, in that health fair, we try to reach out to a lot of different places that had healthy food, healthy information that could be shared with us so that we could bring it back to the community. My heart is to bring forth any information that may be of help to families, children going back to school, wherever I can help. That's what I'm here for, to serve as a nurse.
Yes, and thank you so much. And Joycell's a member of New Covenant Church. I'm honored to be her pastor, and she's been helpful to me and our church in regards to information. We appreciate having a healthcare professional in our congregation. And so thank you again, Joycell, for your heart and professionalism in this regard. All right, let's talk about children going back to school. I'm going to bring up the first slide, which is an introductory slide. And we're going to have you go ahead and begin to share about the importance of being safe in this environment. And so our title slide here is information for students. So go ahead and begin sharing with us what's on your heart and mind about how to be safe in this season.
I want to first of all say that all the information that we're sharing today, you can find online at the Indiana IDOE, Indiana Department of Education, and also other departments like the CDC. I want to start with saying, asking a question to all of us, and that is, how do we reopen safely during this pandemic? In March of 2020, the World Health Organization declared that there was this new coronavirus disease, COVID-19. And they said that it was a global pandemic. The US president declared a national emergency with respect to this dangerous new virus. And our state governor declared a public health emergency in Indiana. Indiana State Department of Health, the CDC, which is the Center for Disease Control, the Indiana Department of Education, IDOE, and other health agencies like the World Health Organization. These organizations have come together to help all of us stay safe and healthy during this time. So they have set forth guidelines and different strategies that we can use in going back to school. I want to first start out with the definition of what is COVID-19. COVID-19 is a germ. It's a virus. Germs cause viruses, and virus turn into an illness. So this COVID-19 is a virus. And if you look at the slide that's showing that picture, that's a picture of COVID-19 under the microscope. It's blown up so that you can see exactly what it looks like to someone looking under a microscope. There was no mention of this new virus before the World Health Organization announced that COVID-19 had been discovered originally in China. So I want to say not only does this COVID-19 virus spread, but it can spread very quickly from person to person. So I want to encourage you to think about some things as we get ready to go back to school. How can we protect each other? We want to protect each other from this virus. So we want to talk about first, how is it spread? And if we talk about how this virus is spread, then we can talk about how we can protect each other. You probably, listening to the news, you've probably heard a lot of people talking about staying 6 feet apart, social distancing. If we don't do social distancing, then you run into the possibility of spreading COVID by being in close contact with someone that may be in the same area where you are. So you want to protect others by staying 6 feet apart. You want to wash your hands often with soap and water. By the way, the best way to keep down germs is to use soap and water. Now, if you don't have soap and water, you can also use hand sanitizer. I have a little bottle of hand sanitizer here that I keep with me everywhere I go. So parents, arm your children with what they need. I know the little children can't carry hand sanitizer and be safe with it. But the older children, I'd say from 4th grade on up, know what the hand sanitizer is, know what it's used for, and can carry it with them. So anytime they touch a surface or they stand and put their hands on another person who they don't know if that person may have COVID-19 symptoms or not, they may be asymptomatic. That means that they are not showing any symptoms, but they still have the virus. So you want to make sure you clean your hands when you touch surfaces that you're not aware of. Use hand sanitizer that is at least 60% alcohol in order for it to be effective and to kill the virus. You want to wear a cloth face covering in public. Whenever you go out and you know that you're going to come in contact with other people, you want to make sure you wear a face covering. Now, the cloth is to protect protect others rather, so that you don't contaminate them by talking or sneezing or coughing. So you want to wear that protective covering. You want to clean and disinfect anything, any area that you have to touch. You want to avoid touching your face, your eyes, your nose, or your mouth. And the other protective measure is if you have any symptoms, you're not sure if it's COVID-19 or not, and we're going to read about some of the symptoms in a little bit. You're not sure, you want to make sure you stay home. That's the safest way to protect yourself and protect others. I want to talk a little bit about the physical distancing or staying 6 feet apart. Physical distancing means there's space between yourself and others outside of your home. Those that are in your home, you're probably fairly sure that that they have not been in the presence of someone with COVID, or that they don't have it themselves. So you can stay within 6 feet of your family members or those that you've been around. And you don't want to get together in groups. Please listen to the scientists. They are telling us that this COVID-19 virus is spread by coming in close contact with others and not wearing your protective equipment, your face mask, and your hand sanitizers, or washing your hands. So I want you to make sure that you listen to the scientists as they speak, and you watch television, or you're watching on your phone, or whatever device you're using. Listen to the scientists as they tell you what you need to do. You don't want to touch your eyes or nose or mouth with unwashed hands. You want to prepare or eat your food or drink with, you don't want to do that with unwashed hands. You want to continually wash and clean those hands. You want to wash and clean those hands so much until you just get tired of doing it. But you know that you are being safe. So if you touch something that has the virus on it, you want to make sure that you clean that surface as well as clean your hands. You want to blow your nose, cough, or sneeze. When you do that, you want to have a tissue. You want to sneeze in your arm or your elbow area so that you don't spread the germs to others. Okay?
Nurse Ingram, let me add something here real quick. You made a point how we're doing these, we're washing and we're our hands and not touching our faces, and we do it so much we get tired of it. But the key is to form the habit.
Yes.
Once the habit is formed, you don't think about it anymore, right?
That's exactly right.
So impress upon, so our children, and just do it, keep doing it, because at some point it becomes habit. Like now we go out, we got a mask in hand, and we're already putting it on before we hit that door,
Right.
Yes,
and
we're forming good habits.
Yes, and sometimes we even forget to take it off. But you want to make sure that you put that mask on, as Pastor said. And parents, please practice at home. Practice with your children, because they're going to remember what you said to them when they come to school. Once we have the signs posted throughout the schools that remind the children to wash their hands, to wear their masks, the safe distance. We have all those signs posted at school, but children will remember the things that mom and dad tell them. So please don't forget to practice with your children at home before they come to school. Here you see a group of students, and they are well prepared to come in contact with others. Why? Because they're safe. They have their mask on. And we don't say that the mask will stop the germs 100%. So that's why we're telling you to use sanitizers and wipe areas clean after you know that you or people have been where you could spread the germs. So there are some videos that are in these PowerPoints. And as I said, you can go to the CDC website and find a copy of these PowerPoints. And there's some other references at the end of this PowerPoint presentation that show you exactly where you can go to find out a lot of this information. Parents, you want to zero in on the videos that show you how to wash your hands, show the children how to put their mask on, and show them how to use hand sanitizers safely. You don't want to put a mask on a child that's 2 or younger. You want to make sure that that child is old enough to be able to take it off if they need to breathe and catch a breath of air and put it back on. So we don't want to put a mask on children under 2.
Joyce, I got a question for you.
Okay.
Now, we are both Christians, we're believers, we're a follower of Christ, we're faithful in church, but ask the question, why is it not enough to pray only?
I would say that prayer is good and prayer helps, but when we're dealing with the physical body, God has provided resources and things for us to use here in the earth to help protect ourselves.
Yes.
As we come in contact with things that are not nice to us, that are not good for us. So to use wisdom, God gives us wisdom in his word. And to use wisdom in the earth is to use the resources that are provided for us.
Yes, I mean, that was a pretty simple question. I was just setting you up to get that answer because, faith without works is dead.
Yeah, exactly.
And the thing is, though, I mean, faith without works, dead. I mean, in other words, you could actually die, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
From not doing what you should do. So we are strong believers. Right. And but yet we understand, we respect science and medical science. As you say, it's about wisdom. So I want to just share that because I think sometimes, we believers think, well, we prayed about it. Yeah, we prayed about it, but we're going to also take some action as well.
Okay. Now, we've talked a lot about the protective equipment, PPE, that you need to wear to keep yourself and others safe. But I also want to talk about some of the, what are some of the symptoms of COVID? That's real important because parents, before your child leave home to come to school, you want to make sure that they don't have a fever, that they're not running a fever or having cold chills, that they don't have a cough, that they are not experiencing shortness of breath, fatigue, muscle or body ache, headaches, loss of taste or smell, new symptoms, sore throat, congestion or runny nose, nausea or vomiting, diarrhea. So you want to pay attention, close attention, more than we have ever before, before your child leaves home in the morning. Make sure that they are okay. You don't want to have to come to school to pick them up because they showed symptoms, and we have to send them home because we have to consider that we have a whole building of kids to take care of. And so if your child comes to school sick and we discover that they're sick, we are going to have to send them home. So you want to check their temperature, and if their temperature is 100 degrees or higher, you want to definitely keep them home. If they are displaying any of the symptoms that were listed on that PowerPoint, you want to keep them home and care for them at home. So some of the symptoms we already mentioned. So I want to talk to you now a little bit about how we screen. How are we going to screen for COVID-19 when a person comes to school? We can't take the time to interview everybody and make sure everybody has not been in close distance with someone who's affected with the virus. So we have a list of questions that we want to ask as you enter the building. We want to know, have you had any symptoms of COVID-19? Yes or no? Have you experienced a fever 100 degrees or above in the past 72 hours? Now, it used to be 24 hours. You had to stay out if you have a fever. But we want to know if you've had a fever in the last 72 hours. Have you had new or unusual trouble breathing or shortness of breath or wheezing? That is labored breathing, where you're having difficulty. Have your family members recently traveled to a restricted area, out of town or overseas or places like that? We need to know, because if you contract the virus, we are going to try to trace and find out where you got this from so that we can stop it, so that it won't continue. Have you experienced new or unusual muscle pain in the last 72 hours? Chills, shaking, loss of smells, cough, sore throat, any of those symptoms that you saw on that list of symptoms, we're going to want to know, have you experienced them when you come to school? And if you are sick, we say, stay home, call your doctor or healthcare provider, and take care of yourself until you can go see a doctor.
Yes, okay. so key. My wife, as you know, is a school teacher, has been for over 36 years, and she's going back in, so obviously this is pertinent to educators as well.
Yes.
And parents can help educators,
yes,
by not sending sick children to school.
Exactly.
It is so irresponsible. I know we have to go to work and all this, but this is a time to be responsible and caring one for another. It's not a day for selfishness, not a day to do what I got to do. It's a day to take care of one another. And this information is so key. In fact, I'm going to, I've been showing the website addresses. I want to also put the addresses into the comment area or into the discussion area of the video we show. We'll post this on Facebook. It'll be on YouTube, and we'll put actual live links. You can click right on the link and go directly to the resources from CDC, Indiana Department of Health, and so forth. Yeah.
I just wanted to say, there is so much information out there, good information, that will help you and your family, the children, the parents, your relatives. There's good information. So don't keep this information to yourself. When you come in contact with people and they're not sure what to do, direct them to these references that we're giving you. And if you have any questions, I'm sure that you will find information there to answer your questions.
Excellent. All righty. Well, I'll tell you, this has been a great conversation and very, very helpful, I'm sure. And we've heard some things before, but hearing and hearing and
Yes.
hearing. In fact, the Bible says faith comes by hearing, right? So it's good for us to hear from different voices and different sources. And you being a school nurse, I mean, you're right there in the middle of our children, serving them. So thank you so much, Nurse Ingram, for being on here today, and look forward to informing our community and our church and churches in general. And I ask you who are watching, share this link. If it's on Facebook, share it. If it's on YouTube, you can text it to somebody. Find the link and text it. It'll be on our church website, New Covenant Church. Let's just do all we can do to get the information out. And there's always something to learn. Don't think you know it all. Okay,
right.
We're still learning, because this is an evolving situation.
Yeah, it's
and
brand
we're learning
new.
More almost every day.
Yeah, it's brand new.
Yes.
Yeah, and the information that we're giving out right now came out in July. So it's changing constantly.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Okay, well, I've been speaking with Nurse Joycell Ingram. And any final remarks before we conclude our time?
I just want to encourage the parents just to be diligent. That repetition, don't worry about wearing your child out. Just repetition is a good teacher. And we want them to form the habit of putting on their face mask, wearing it, washing their hands, and keeping that hand sanitizer handy so that they can keep themselves and others safe.
All right. Well, thank you so much. And again, just be encouraged and be mindful of what you've heard today. Repetition is a great teacher, Nurse Ingram said.
Yes.
Yeah, don't be shy about repeating, to the children, because they'll form the habit, and you're helping them to help others and themselves going forward. Amen. So thank you, Joycell, Nurse Ingram. You have a great day, everybody, and we'll be in touch. God bless.
God bless you.